Hey guys, it's Justin. Welcome back to another video. So recently I've been in this craze where I've been into Airbnbs and I've been trying to research and trying to buy properties. I wanted to show you guys how you guys can get in because as a realtor, I know that long-term rentals aren't working as much as they were like a year ago. And so a lot of people are moving to Airbnb. So this is a video showing you guys basically the must-knows if you guys are getting started in Airbnbs, how to analyze and find your properties and making sure that you have a good deal and not a bad deal. Before we get started though, I have to give you guys this disclaimer because I've had this and a lot of people will also have this, is when you are looking at your first rental property, or even if you are on your second or third, there's this thing that if you keep analyzing deals, you'll get this, and it's called deal analysis paralysis. It's where basically you analyze your deals, but you get in this paralysis where it's like,
is this gonna work or is this not gonna work?
Like I have this every single day, and that means that you're analyzing the deal way too hard. There's so many simple-minded people in this world that are doing what you want to do without overthinking things. So do not get into the paralysis where you only do deals and you get nervous on the outcome of what will happen. This is something that you really want to just not think of. If you can do the deal analysis 2 times or 3 times and it looks like it's a good deal, go for it. Let's talk about the must-knows that you really need to know when you guys are going to start short-term rentals or Airbnb. Number 1, the biggest thing that you have to know is that if you are purchasing an Airbnb to rent, or if you're thinking of maybe house hacking, living in one unit and then renting out the other unit, you cannot do FHA loans. VA loans, they don't count. You're not allowed to use those loans at this current moment to get an Airbnb. I think it's because it's a government-backed loan, but you can only get it, one, a conventional loan, or if you don't have the money for the down payment, you could get a small business loan that I know some people are giving out for Airbnbs. Or number 3, you can ask other people for other money. And if you are getting a conventional loan, right now as a rental property, you are looking at 25% down. So if your rental property is $100,000 that you're gonna rent out, then you have to put $25,000 down plus the closing costs, which is about, depends on every state, but 3 to 5%. Now, with that being said, guys, you guys have to remember that it is only conventional loan if you're going to the bank financing side. So if you get your loan approved for a certain amount and it's just really on that budget side, what I would do is buy something that is a little fixer-upper, spend some time renovating the cost because you're also going to have to furnish, you're also going to have to paint, you're going to have to do some things to make your Airbnb listing really good. So buy something that's a low, maybe fix just light repair. It's called lipstick repair. So basically anything that's paint, anything that's cosmetic, and then make sure you guys get it furnished really well, get very quality photos of their Airbnb listings, and then you can list it. Now, the second must know that I want to talk to you guys about is making sure that you have a backup plan if by any chance your Airbnb fails. Now, what I mean by this is in every rental property you do, you want to make sure you have a backup plan. Let's say that you list it on Airbnb, but you're not making any incomes. Let's say you're only doing 1 out of 30 days, which would probably never happen unless you have really bad photos or just bad reviews or something's really wrong with the property. Then you want to make sure that you have a backup option. My backup option that I usually do is if by any chance, if it doesn't rent short term and make the income that I think I'm going to make, can I do this as a long-term lease or a rent and make certain amount? You want to know if it makes sense in long-term rentals. What I mean by this is, will it cover my mortgage, my insurance, and the utilities of the property if I did a long term? I'm going to show you guys an example of how I would analyze this so you guys would know how this works. So what I would do is find a property. Let's go ahead and go to redfin.com. You can use Zillow, anything that you guys want, but I like Redfin. I'm going to search up in Atlanta, Georgia area. And let's just say we find a property. So I found this property. This was actually not in Atlanta, Georgia. I just decided to do a multifamily because I feel like more people are going to house hack than do a full rental. So I just want to give you guys an example of how this would work. This one's in Hateville, which is basically in Atlanta, just the southern side of Atlanta, right close to the Hartsfield Airport. But it looks like it is a duplex with a new roof. So it looks like it's been fully renovated, looking at the pictures. Yep, looks like it's new. newly renovated, and it looks like it has a unit A, which is 2 bedroom, 1 bath, and a unit B, which is 1 bedroom, 1 bath. For you guys to know if this makes sense in a sense of long-term rental, what I would do is go to this website called Rentometer. You would put your address in, and this is free. You can pay for it. I actually don't know what the features are, but that being said, you would put in your address, estimate the rent to be $1,000. You're gonna live in one unit, unit A, which is a 2 bedroom, 1 bathroom. So let's say 2 bed, 1 bathroom, and you would press analyze. From there, it shows you what the average rent would be, the median income, and a high percentage, which is basically what most of the people that are doing really good in Hateville are paying for per rent. So this is per month, and you can just see an estimate how much it would cost to rent it out long term. Another backup option that I also consider if I'm not going to do it as a long term, or if it just doesn't make sense, is remember you want to buy something that's not as fully renovated. You want to see if you can fix and flip it. So basically you would look at comps, which you can do on Redfin or Zillow. If you guys want to know how to do that, just leave a comment below and I'll make a video on that. But basically what you would do is you would analyze in the area. Usually you want to do like 0.5 miles or less, same bedroom, same bath, around the same square feet, and see if a fully renovated property that's similar to yours and how much it is going for, or how much it was sold for. That's the important thing. Not what it's active for, but what it's sold for. That's what you guys want to look for, and see if you can do that. Then that would be a backup option for you. Now that I talked about the must-knows for Airbnb, let's talk about basically what I would do when I'm finding a property. So the first step, what I would do is finding a property. Now, if you don't have any Airbnbs and you just don't know where you're trying to look for, look in your backyard, usually an hour drive or less. There's gonna be some kind of city or highlight of your state, basically, that you can Airbnb. For me, I live in Georgia, and pretty much the only thing, if I'm looking in Metro Atlanta, is gonna be Atlanta because it's a hotspot city. So I look in the city of Atlanta. You wanna see where a lot of people go to. So you can also do research on Google, seeing where the best Airbnb places are. If you know on the top of your head where you want to go for, make sure you search in that area. On top of that, you want to make sure you know your local ordinance or the city ordinance to make sure if Airbnb is allowed or not. Atlanta is one of the most, I would say, Airbnb friendly cities. So Airbnb is allowed in Atlanta, which is why I like to look in Atlanta. But it might be different, like somewhere suburban around here called Cumming, Georgia. Airbnb is just not allowed. Found a property that I really loved in Cumming, but I called up their city ordinance and they said that Airbnb was not allowed. So make sure you guys know the city ordinance before you start looking in the city that you really want to look for. I already have this property up, the 265 Maple Street, because I'll show you guys how to do the long term. So let's use this for example. So I'll show you the page. If this is something that you're interested in, what I do to analyze my deal is use Rentometer. Another website that I use, and this is basically the only website that I use when I analyze my deals, is called AirDNA.co. This is one of the best ones that I've used. There's also Mash Advisor if you guys like to use that, or just use both of them to see. If you want to make sure. And you put in your city, neighborhood, or postal code. So in this one, the postal code is 30354. So you would put that right here, Atlanta, Georgia, and it will show up everything here. Usually when you guys put in your zip codes, the market grade, average daily rate, occupancy rate, revenue, and the photo right here will be all blocked off. The reason why this one's out is actually because I pay for this zip code right here. And I highly recommend it if you know that this is the city that you're looking for. I think it's about $20 a month, but it saves you so much money because you know how much money or revenue you're going to make. And you can basically analyze your property compared to other properties down here. So if you guys are going to actually go for I think it's called the Pro model, and it also gives you more stuff like the occupancy rate, the rates, the revenues, pretty much all the stuff that you need. I do have an affiliate code. If you guys want to support the channel, you guys can use that, and you guys will basically be able to see all this data that I see. With that being said, guys, what I would do is on the left side, you'll see Rentalizer. You would click Rentalizer. Now, Rentalizer is free. You can use it, but it won't give you specific data descriptions. But you can put in your address for lookups, Atlanta, Georgia, and it'll show up right here. So I guess this is what it looked like before it was fully renovated. And you can put in, let's say, 2 bed, 1 bath update. And you guys can play around with the guest. The amount of guests changes the annual revenue. So it looks like 23,000. Let's do 3 guests. Looks like you get a little bit more, and then let's go up to 4 guests. You get a little bit more. So you guys can play around. You guys can notice that it does change depending on how many guests you do list it on Airbnb. What's really important is what your annual revenue is plus your average daily rate. The daily rates also include the cleaning fee inside of Airbnb. So you also have to think of that in consideration, and also your occupancy rate, which is 56% out of the 365 in the whole year. Now remember guys, these are estimated, and what I've noticed with AirDNA is that it's actually on the low side. So if you have a really good listing, let's say you have, you know, in the area of everyone else, but you also have great photos, great furniture, great communication, then you might probably get a little bit more. I would estimate around $3,000 to $5,000 more than what they say as annual revenue. But this is really important because this will give you an idea of how much you will make compared to how much you pay on your mortgage and your utilities and everything, and what you'll know as your net income after your expense. So now that we know the annual average, we sort of want to make sure that this is right. Now it looks like there's only a couple properties here that shows up, but to be extra cautious, I'm going to go into Airbnb.com and I'm going to search up the same location. So 265 Mary Street. I'd say I'm flexible. Check as many as you guys can, and don't worry about the guests, and press search. When you guys have it, you guys will see certain properties. It looks like this is a 2-bedroom. This one has 1 more bath, but it looks like this is a comp that we can use. This is 2-bed, 2-bath, but it looks like we can also use this. And this will be around the location of where you are. 2-bed, 1-bath. Looks like this has a good rating. 2-bed, 1-bath. It has a good rating, 4.71. This one has 5 stars. It's only 4 reviews, so it's recent, but we'll choose that one. I think that's enough, and we'll go through them together. You'll see the 5-star bungalow, Sleep 6, close to Atlanta, Georgia. Thing that you want to do is play around with this, and you want to look at August. So right now it's August 17th. Looks like they are fully booked until the 27th. Sometimes if you change the guests, the adults, the night will also change the price, but you'll know that it looks like you're gonna get around $140 per night and a cleaning fee of $85. And that's something that you guys want to make sure you have. Now the service fee is something that you won't have, and the occupancy tax and fees are something that you won't have. These will be for, the service fee will be for Airbnb, and the occupancy tax will be for your state or the taxes of whatever city that you live in. You want to look at it as $134 per night. And it's actually really good to look at if you are at the end of August, like the end of the month, you'll be able to sort of guesstimate a little bit better of September, because that's the month that is going on. But it looks like, let's look at in terms of September. Have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They have 8 days booked, and it looks like you'll get around $134 per night. Usually people stay for, if it's like weekends right here, like Saturday 11th and 12th, it's usually a weekend stay. So that'd be a cleaning fee of $85. So let's calculate that. So it'd be 4, 5, 6, which is at $85, and then 11, 12 is $85. 18th to 20 or 18th to 19th is $85, and it looks like someone's staying for 1 day, so $85. So in total for the month of September, as of now currently, they are going to make 134 times 8, which is 1,072, plus 85 times 4. So in total for September, they're going to make an estimated revenue of $1,412 for the month. Now, obviously, as you go on to the days of September, they're going to be more fully booked, but you can also find properties like this. Let's see this one. It has 63 ratings. So right here, it says this is a rare find. Drew's place on Airbnb is usually fully booked, which basically means that most of the days are booked. You guys can see pretty much August is fully booked except 28, 29, 30, 31. September, they have everything booked except 1st, 2nd, and 3rd of September. So those are the ones that you guys want to see. If it's a rare find, that means that you sort of want to make your property look like this and see what they're doing great, look at the descriptions, and basically you can also make the revenue as much as they did. Even looks like their October, beginning of October is rented, and November's also looking like it's rented. Click on September, Wednesday to Friday. Let's see if their guest changes prices. Nope, guest does not change prices. Let's look at a weekend price. Yeah, so they're looking at $120 a day. So let's just calculate for September. September, they have 30, 29, 20, 27 days booked. And on average, people usually stay around 3 to 4 nights. So we can do 27 divided by 3 nights, which means 9 times they will have to have a cleaning fee on there. So let's see how much their cleaning fee is. Is $60. For the month of September, as of current, they're going to be having $120 times 27 days, which is $3,240 plus the 9 cleaning fees for 3 days, usually that people stay, which is $540. So 3,240 plus 540 is an estimated gross income of $3,780. That's how much they would be making the month of September. They can also make 3 more nights, and they could probably make a little bit more, so close to that 4,000 mark, which is a ton of income. Now let's look at this one. Looks like August, they're all fully booked. Now September, half of September is also booked. It isn't a rare find, but you can also use comps because they have 37 reviews, so it looks like it's good. This one, let's see, is it a rare find? Maybe not. Looks like September, they're pretty much all booked. They're not a red find, but it looks like September is good. So it looks like they're doing decently well. Looks like September is booked, but October isn't booked. As you guys can see how I do this, you can also do this to figure out what your estimated revenue would be. And this is basically how I would figure out if this makes me money or not. So let's go into the analysis on specifically how this would make sense in terms of if you had a loan and if it would make sense with your utilities. So let's use this Hartsfield house, for example, just because it looks like you'll be pretty much, if you can get yourself fully booked like this, you could make as much revenue as them, maybe a little less because you have 1 bedroom less. It looks like they're making a gross revenue of, on September, $3,780. Let's just say you have 1 less bathroom. So let's say you'll make $3,600. And we'll go with that number. First, we gotta know our mortgage. So we can go down here on Redfin. If you guys are doing a duplex and you're gonna live in one of the units, what you guys can do is put 15% down. And what this is recently that I've asked my loan officer is they're requiring people with conventional loans to put 15% down if you're gonna live in the property of a duplex. Now, if you're buying a property just to rent out, it is gonna be 25% and a higher interest rate. Now, what I got was 25% down with 4% interest rate. So that's pretty high. You're looking around 2.7, 2.8, 3% on your loan interest rate, but it's 4% if you're buying a rental property. So let's say that you're gonna put 15% down, $40,000 in cash, and then the home price, $270,000, 30-year loan, and let's go ahead and put 3% just to be conservative. Then you'll be looking at around $1,257 per month. And now this considers property tax, your mortgage insurance also. What I do is once I know that information, what you guys will do is go actually back into AirDNA. And if you scroll down right here, there's something called a financial calendar. Now, your rent revenue, it looks like they're doing annual revenue is $23,000, $24,000, but I'm gonna calculate it with the Hartsfield house. So I'm gonna do $3,600 times 12 for the whole yearly amount. And it looks like they're making $43,200. Let's go in between just to be conservative, plus $24,000 divided by 2. So it looks like your rental revenue average will be around $33,600. And I think that's pretty high compared to what AirDNA says. So AirDNA is pretty much on the low side. You usually can make more than what they say. This is probably going to be like if you're in the middle to low, and they're doing it very conservative. And let's also look at the purchase price, which is $270,000. And then you can look down here and say show details. If you have a management fee, if you want somebody to manage your Airbnb, it's usually 20%. Usually if you do long-term rentals, it's usually around 8 to 10%, but Airbnb will do 20%. But if you're getting started, I would say do 0%, just because you get more money. On top of that, you get to know how you manage your Airbnbs for your future. Now, logging tax is all different for every single state/city, but here in Atlanta, you're looking at 8%. So I'm gonna put 8%. Property tax, let's go back. Let's see what their property tax was. It's 146, so times 12, which gives you $1,752 a year. $1,752,000 a year. Now your cleaning fees. This all really depends, and what I would do is call up a lot of cleaners and see how much they charge. Usually they charge around $50, $60 per hour. It could go up to $80 just depending on where you live, but I would estimate about $80, $90 just to be safe. Let's see how much square foot it is. It doesn't tell you the square foot. So let's just estimate it's about 1,000 square foot. So it'd be $80 per cleaning. I said that they would have 9 cleaners. Every single month you're looking at $720 as cleaning fee times 12, which is $8,640. Remember guys, if you can clean it by yourself, you can also make less, or you can make more money. But let's just say you're gonna hire your own cleaners. Maintenance, it depends on if your home is newer or older. Usually I like to put 10% of every single rental revenue into it. So if I'm making $1,000, I'll put about $100 into a reserve into my savings account just in case something happens. But in this case, let's do a $33,600, and let's say we're gonna do this as, I don't know how long this video is gonna be, but if you guys are still watching, thank you so much for supporting. I know this video is long and very informative, but yeah, let's do rental revenue, $33,600 times 0.10%. And I'm going to save up $3,360 in maintenance. Your insurance, you can see the average. Let's see. Does it tell you? That's mortgage insurance. Let's do Zillow. Zillow.com. Property taxes, $241 per month, so $2,889. So we'll go back in here, $2,889. Your utilities, 2-bed, 1-bath in Georgia, you could be looking around $300 per month. Your HOA fee is $0, and then you have your mortgage, which was just your principal, which is $968. From there, you look at your house furnishings, which is usually, you could go to Facebook Marketplace and maybe spend $5,000. Hopefully you asked your agent to not have the seller, pay your closing costs. And home furnishing improvements or home improvements on this home, it looks like it's pretty much all fully done, so I'm gonna do $0. And then I'll show you guys what your operating expenses and your net operating income. Now, obviously this is more on the higher end side of operating expense, but there is a lot of operating expense going into Airbnb. Now, I also tell you your cap rate, about 3.53%, and your net income of $9,703. So you can also do your cash on cash return, which would be your annual cash flow without taxes, which would be $33,600 divided by the purchase price, your total cash amount that you've invested, which would be $5,000 plus your down payment, which I believe was $40,500. In total, you're looking at $45,500. That's how much that you put in your revenue divided by $45,500. And it looks like you'll get a 73% return on your money. So in 1 year, you would make 73% of all the cash that you put down, which is really high. If you're looking at long-term rentals, people are looking at like 10%, 12%, 15% cash on cash return. With Airbnb, you're looking at 73% cash on cash return, which is really great. On top of that, you can also consider your equity that goes up every single month, like 4, 5, 6%. So the cap rate even goes up higher because of if you consider everything in. So in terms of if this is a great Airbnb, I would say yes, and plus you get to live for free on the other side, covering your mortgage, and on top of that making $10,000. Now if you rent both of them, you could probably even make a lot more. With that being said, hopefully you guys thought of this as very informative and a great way for you guys to get started Airbnb. If you guys have any other questions or any suggestions on another video that I should make sure you guys put it in the comment section below. Make sure you guys like and subscribe if you like this content, as I'll be making more content on Airbnb if you guys are interested in that. If you guys are also looking to buy or sell a home here in Georgia, feel free to contact me, as I can be your realtor. I have the affiliate code for you guys if you guys are going to use AirDNA, which I highly recommend if you are going to get started with Airbnb. It will save you guys so much money in the long run. That $20 per month is such a little cost for everything that you guys are going to make. On top of that, it's month by month. So if you guys just want to use it once, then use it once, and then you don't have to use it ever again. So with that said, guys, I will see you guys in the next video, and I hope you guys like this video. Peace.